Hello flower friends! In today's video I'm going to show you how I make one of my favorite holiday designs. This is the best selling design that we make in my shop. We make dozens and dozens of them every year, and I'm going to show you how I make them today. My name's Ellen Frost. I'm the owner of Local Color Flowers, and I've been a florist for over 15 years. I write a weekly newsletter all about flowers, which you should definitely check out, and I host an online community called FlowerMore for flower nerds who want more flowers in their life. And don't you want more flowers in your life? So today I'm going to show you how I make winter in a jar. So we start with a quart-sized mason jar. This one happens to be red, but you can use clear. Quart size, and use a wide mouth. We always try to use a wide mouth because some of the stems can be kind of thick. So we start with just a little bit of water, and the first thing we do is add jingle bells. So I have taken a piece of bind wire, which is just a wire covered in paper, and twist tied 3 little jingle bells onto the bind wire. And then we just wrap it around the edge of the jar, twist tie it on there, and that is sort of the signature look of the vase for winter in a jar. Then we start with our side shoots. So this is a great example. This is a big branch of magnolia, but you can see it has lots of side shoots. So I'm going to cut all of these side shoots off, and we're going to get at least 5 cuts out of this one stem. So if you're using a large piece for like a bigger arrangement, you can use a lot of these side shoots in the winter in a jar. So I make sure my stem's nice and clean, especially for woodies, because you don't want any dirt or bark or anything getting in the water. And then for woodies, I just like to add an extra cut up the center of the stem that helps that stem take up water. So I'm going to add some of my magnolia. Magnolia is great for holiday designs. It is so long lasting. And for winter in a jar, it really is any type of evergreens you have. So if you're using evergreens for wreaths or swags, or if you have a Christmas tree at home and you have some side shoots, you can use any mix of evergreens. But I do like to use at least a couple different colors and shades and shapes of evergreens so that you really get some intense texture, because this is a design that is not going to have any flowers in it. Next, I'm going to use some side shoots of this evergreen. This is called blue ice cedar. And again, I want to make sure I'm taking off all of these little greens on the edge. I don't want to have any of these in the jar. And you can do that with your hand, or you can clip those off with your clippers. And you can see already the difference in texture between the really thick, very strong magnolia and this very wispy, more feathery looking blue ice cedar. So you can see I'm having these are really like we would call them line flowers if they were flowers, but these are evergreens, but they are in the shape of a line. So I'm letting those be a little bit taller in my arrangement and letting these big, thicker leaves of the magnolia being more of like a collar around the design. I'm going to add a little bit of eucalyptus because we always have eucalyptus this time of year and people love it. And again, it adds a different type of texture and a little bit of a different fragrance. So I'm going to add a little bit of this, and these are all side shoots. These came off of a very large branch that we used for another event, but these are just the side shoots that we saved. And this one I'm using here is called polyanthemos. This is a new eucalyptus to us, and it's so cute. Look, it has heart-shaped leaves. It's really, really cute. I'm going to tuck a few of these in. And then I have a little bit of boxwood eucalyptus, which is a smaller eucalyptus, a smaller leafed eucalyptus that I just had some side shoots of, which I will add in as well. You can see my arrangement is nice and full. It does not need flowers. Of course, if you had some flowers and you wanted to add them, you could, but we do not generally add flowers to our winter in a jar. It's really just foliage, berries, dried flowers. All right, so we've got our evergreen foliage and our eucalyptus, and then a key component of all of our winter in a jar is red ilex, or red winterberry. And the way we get it from our growers comes in tall 3-foot branches, and it can have lots of little side shoots. So these are just the the side pieces, which we've set aside. So we're going to put 3 of these in. You can see these are nice and short. I'm going to add a little bit of dried German statice. You can see it looks a little bit like baby's breath. And I love it in this because it does have a little snowy effect, sort of like a flocked or frosted element. So I'm going to add some of this. And this has lots of side shoots as well. And because this is dried, it doesn't need to be in water. I try to keep the evergreens and the berries in water, but this German statice is dry, so it doesn't need to be in the water. All right, so it's looking great. I feel already excited about these because it's the first one I've made of the season. We're gonna make tons of these. So our customers love them, I love them. And then our last element in every winter in a jar is pine cones. So I'm gonna just use a flocked wire. This is a wire that has sort of a velvety covering. And what this does is keep it from sliding. Like if you used a regular wire, it could be a little slippery, could slip off your pine cone. So I'm just gonna wrap this around the bottom and make an artificial stem for my pine cone so that I can basically use it like a flower. So I'm gonna tuck a few of these into my design. All right, so I've got my pine cones in. That is our simple winter in a jar full of evergreens, berries, dried flowers, and pine cones. I hope you will give them a try at your house this season too.